When I was a kid, I would like run into like poles on the street. I like fell out of the car a couple times. I was always like stubbing my toe on things. I think it's because my head was in the clouds and I was just very
Corbin, you're still clumsy. You still are exactly the same person. Girl's ankle is rolled right now.
You are Black in the Green Room with me, your host, Keith Underwood. And this is your spot for real talk about entertainment with entertainers, creatives, and showbiz professionals. Today, we've got a special holiday treat. Two incredible talents who've been making us laugh, cry, cheer, and now get into the Christmas spirit. They're the stars and producers of the upcoming film, The Christmas Showdown, a story that celebrates sisterhood, friendship, and finding your shine again. Please welcome to the room the dynamic duo, Amber Stevens West and Corbin Reid. Ladies, welcome to the room.
Hello.
woohoo.
Thank you. Happy to be here today.
Yeah, this is
Absolutely.
great.
Absolutely. Yes. So in the Christmas Showdown, you play childhood best friends, and what were each of you like as kids, and which version of your younger selves do you still carry with you today?
What a fun question. We haven't been
That is
asked
a fun
that.
question. No one's asked us that, actually. That is a fun question. And I actually think I'm a lot like April. I mean, yeah, my character, April. I was like, wait, my chastity or April? April. Wow. Sorry, I've been up since 4 a.m. So,
Oh,
uh,
yeah, me too. I'm with you.
okay. Yeah, no, she's like such a fun spirit. She's super clumsy. When I was a kid, I would like run into like poles on the street. I like fell out of the car a couple times. I was always like stubbing my toe on things. I think it's because my head was in the clouds and I was just very
Corbin, you're still clumsy. You still are exactly the same person. Girl's ankle is rolled right now.
It's true, actually, it's true. But like it used to be worse, Amber, I'm telling you. I literally would run into like be walking down the street talking to my friend and just like dunk like walk into a pole. Like it was bad. So I'm so clumsy, but I've made some minor improvements. Some minor improvements.
Okay.
So
All
yeah, I think
right.
that head in the clouds thing I can really relate to with April, the dreamer mentality.
Yeah. What
I was a
about
lot
you,
like
Amber?
that. I was a lot like that as a kid too. I definitely walked into some poles and stuff, and my eldest daughter is exactly like that. She's just her mind's doing a million things at once, and so I think I identify with that. But I was a real happy kid. I loved the holidays, and I loved to have like host parties and stuff. My parents were my house was like the entertaining house. We hosted every single holiday at my house growing up, even the small ones. So I loved being around people and celebrating, and I still do to this day. Hosting a party for our movie on Saturday.
I missed my invite in the mail, but
I'm
that's
sorry,
okay.
Keith. I'm sorry, Keith. It's coming. It's on its way. I'll blame the postman.
Right. So the two of you seem very, very close. How did you meet?
We met doing Run
We
the
met at the
World.
chemistry read. Yeah, we met at the chemistry read of Run the World actually, and I love to tell the story because Kim Coleman put us in a back room when we were testing. Amber had already been cast. I believe Brisha was already cast at that point as
Hmm.
well, and they were still trying to find the other two girls, and I was testing for both of them, for Sandy and for Ella. And I remember she put me, Amber, and Brisha in a back room, and other people were up like outside of the room, like testing, like waiting. And we were just back there like cackling and yelling and like we had just met and Kim came in. He had come in like three separate times and was like, girls, ladies, you have to quiet down. But it was just because it was like immediate like girlfriends, you know? And
Totally.
um I just think when you have that kind of chemistry, it's like you don't have to work for it. It's just like there, you know?
Hmm.
That's exactly
Yes.
right.
So your characters, they reconnect through a holiday event. What's one Christmas tradition that instantly reconnects you to home and family?
Oh, a tradition. Well, I've never spent the holidays away from my family ever. Oh, that's not true. One time ever in my life because I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. My family's here. I'm still here, and so and now I host everything. So I never really feel disconnected from the holidays. Whereas I know Corbin's like a transplant to Los Angeles, so she's had to recreate, what she's looking for. So maybe she can answer that question better than me.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely spent holidays alone. I mean, even when I wasn't a transplant here, I was a transplant in New York. There were many holidays. I started out on Broadway. There were many holidays I had to work on Christmas. I was doing shows. I was doing shows on Thanksgiving, and then I would spend it with, sometimes my family would come here, but sometimes it would be with a friend or something. So for traditions, I feel like carols always bring us together. I now host this like karaoke thing every year that I think is really fun at my house. All my friends happen to be crazy good singers, including Amber. Um, and you get to see that in the movie because we sing an original song
Good,
that we
good,
wrote.
good. Hello.
Hello. Um, and yeah, I think what else? Oh, we always see a show. I love like I've seen the Nutcracker thousands of times. I've seen like every version of the Nutcracker. We love seeing like, live choirs or anything that's like arts related. I feel like always helps like ring in the holiday season for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true. I went and saw a choir just last night, actually. Now that you said that, I brought my daughters, these two older ones, to go see a choir at a church out in Pasadena that was just doing this like big choral performance. It was like a 2 hour piece, and it was really beautiful. And there was Christmas lights everywhere, and it's like part holiday music, and part of it was original stuff that I'd never heard. But that really puts you in the Christmas spirit.
mhm.
Yeah.
What you guys have known each other for roughly about 4 or 5 years now?
Oh gosh, is it 5 or 6 maybe?
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feels
So
longer.
what traditions have you guys built for each other? What are some of your traditions as friends?
What are our tradition? Karaoke is a tradition. Dressing the
That's
same as each
definitely.
other is a tradition. That's just an
That's sort of
accident.
just like that's just like life. That's like everyday life. I wouldn't call it a tradition. We don't plan it. It just happens. I was saying
Yeah.
her earlier this morning. I was like, we need to make a montage of all of our outfits that we've accidentally shown up in together.
Yeah.
But I think the karaoke parties are definitely a tradition. We also both love antiquing and like
Yeah, I was gonna
vintage
say.
and flea
Interesting.
markets. Love to go to like those things together.
Yeah,
Um,
flea markets and stuff. Yeah.
I helped Amber design her guest bedroom after we wrapped season 2 of Run the World.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what was the motif?
It was just like a mix between just like I wanted it to feel warm and cozy, and we had filmed in New York, and I kept going upstate to Hudson, New York, which if anybody's familiar with that area, it's really a very like artistic kind of like farm town upstate New York. It's like a
Hmm.
hour and a half train ride up the river, and there's a lot of artists out there, and there's a lot of antiques out there, and I just loved going up there. And I found this piece, and Amber had been like, I want you to help me with my guest bedroom. And I was like, you have to buy this, please. I have nowhere to put it. And I sent her a picture, and she was like, okay, I'll buy it. And I was like, yes, now I can look at it when I come to your house. So yeah, no, the vibe was just cozy. We started with that piece, and then we have very similar tastes. So it was very easy for me to like we share things back and forth on Instagram, like, ooh, isn't this cool? Look at this, look at this. And it's always like we're like on the same page in terms of aesthetic.
Yeah. What I find interesting that I love about the potential of this project is that it's typically Christmas time. We see a rom-com or it's about, romantic love. But this focuses more on the love between two friends. Talk to me a little bit about that inspiration of, what made you guys want to do this project and focus in on it in that way.
Well, I'll speak for myself and say my favorite genre in any medium is female friendship. I love it. And in my real life, my girlfriends are so important to me. They are the loves of my life. I have a husband who I adore, but it's a very different relationship that I share with him, in a romantic way. And I thought it was important to shine a light on how important friendships can be, and how dramatically they can impact your life.
Hmm.
And so the story of these two girls, how they grew up together and were really like sisters and planned their whole futures together, and to see that crumble and fall apart is really heartbreaking. And then throughout the movie, they find their way back to each other through this kind of fun competition that they're put in. I thought was refreshing, but also really relatable. And then I also have a lot of friends that are single and they
Hmm.
feel a bit of pressure during the holiday season that they're supposed to have some sort of like romantic thing that happens in their life because of the movies telling them so. And so this will kind of give them something else to look to show like, you know what, you should really focus on the friendships that you have in your life and how special those ones are as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, no one's alienated in our movie. Everybody has a friend they can lean on at the holiday time, you know? So, yeah.
Right, right, right. And with that bond of friendship between women, why is it so important that women support one another, not only personally but also professionally?
Man, every woman, well, not every woman, but I really was thinking about it kind of the past couple of months, and some of my biggest breaks in this industry, I've only been in LA for, I don't know, maybe less than 10 years for sure. But some of my biggest breaks have come from women, you know, like Shonda Rhimes, Issa Rae, Yvette Lee Bowser. Like, I, that is not lost on me. And all of those projects have influenced me so much as a storyteller, as an artist. And they're not just stories that I was like, oh, I'm just going to take this job. They were like life-changing projects. And they changed the way that I interacted in this business and just the way that I worked as an actor and as a storyteller. So, you know, opening that door for new talent is huge. And I think when a woman can do it for another woman, that's even bigger because we all know that this business has been male dominated, like most professional spaces have
Hmm.
been male dominated. You guys had a you know 1,000 year head start. So when women can
Absolutely.
open the door for other women, that's really special because it's relatively new when you really think about the history of women in the workforce and especially of women in Hollywood.
Hmm. Amber?
Yeah, what she said, honestly.
I knew you were
Honestly,
going to say
yeah, she covered it
that.
all. Honestly, it's really important that we all stay here together and not climb on top of each other to get
Mm,
ahead. You know, like we all collaborate and do this together, and that was really special in our project too. We're us two as friends working together and hearing each other and collaborating and also hiring and working with other producers that are female, our director is a female. It was a very female forward thing project on purpose. And I think when we all work together, women work really well together
mhm,
when we're all in the same team. Um, and I want to create more experiences like that for my own personal life and also inspire others to try to create that as well because women are really powerful and
mhm,
we can get a lot done.
And I
mhm,
think someone asked us a question. Someone it was one of the reporters that, well, it doesn't matter. But she said that she was like, "Well, how like if for women, you know, what would your advice be for working with your best friend?" And I thought that was such a great question. And it was like, you got to lead. Everything has to be about love. Like it has to be about
mm,
wanting to see the other person win. Always, like you know, even in disagreements, it's like you have to want to see the other person win, and then the collaboration is just effortless really because that's just a loving positive place to be working from,
mhm.
and I
You,
think Amber and I really do a great job at that.
yes. So how do the two of you, how do you problem solve when you're working together?
I think it's mostly about really clear communication. So, first of all, we're both really lucky that we have really similar ideas of how we want to approach things.
Hmm.
But when there are questions, we just are very blunt. Like, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm unclear on. This is what I think should happen. And what do you think? Because ultimately, like she said, we're on the same team. So we
Hmm.
want to figure it out together. And if our opinions are different from one another, then like let's discuss uh all the nuance behind it. Like why is it that you feel so strongly about that and where can we compromise on this? And if we need to, we can bring in somebody else and have them give their opinion. But ultimately it's just about really clear communication with each other and knowing that we both love what we're doing and feel passionate about it and it's not about taking the
Hmm.
other person down or having a win or something. You know, it's all a win together if we can come to a conclusion together.
Hmm.
It's very much like a marriage, just like a business marriage or a
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, most definitely. And outside of each other, who is it in your friend group that helps to keep you grounded and inspired and supported?
Outside of our friend group,
Outside of the two of you.
Outside of each
outside of the
other.
two of us, well, certainly I
Yes.
would say each of us have really supportive husbands.
Mm,
I think that that's my first person that I lean on for sure.
Same.
He is a really level-headed, smart person who can remove emotions from things when needed, but also give me space to have my emotions. So he's a really great partner. And then I also have another just larger group of several girlfriends. And depending on what the scenario is, they got an each person a different person for each problem I might have in my life. Um, but I feel very supported by many of my girlfriends, and I can give them a call any time of day and know that I will be heard and helped.
hmm
Yeah, she said it. I mean, I'm really just gonna be regurgitating what Amber said, but like my husband is probably definitely first. I mean, I feel very lucky, especially in the past year. He started working like adjacent to the industry at Netflix and he's on the political side of things, but it's just nice
hmm
because now he has some sort of like reference for what I'm talking about when I have like industry specific problems. Um, but he's very level-headed. He's like he calls himself my silent manager, and he really he really is. He gives me a lot of really
Husbander.
great ideas. I don't never be
Yeah.
my real manager. I don't think that would work out, but I really do value his opinion. He's a he's one of the smartest people I know. And then I have friends from college, from high school, from childhood, that I call on, like Amber said, for all kinds of different things. So very support. And
hmm
my parents. My parents are like my biggest fans and cheerleaders, so I can always lean on them
hmm
as well.
Yeah. So how has the journey into producing? How has that been for the two of you? Talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, you mentioned the support of your husband as an advisor, but for both of you, what has the journey into producing? What has that been like?
I mean, Corbin and I have talked a little bit about this before, but we both feel like it's almost like a long time coming. And when the opportunity arose, like we were ready. But it wasn't something I was technically looking for specifically in that moment in my life. I've really enjoyed being an actress and um but uh but this opportunity came up where we came up with this idea together and we had put all this time and effort in this industry to making all these relationships that it felt almost effortless to reach out to another producer that we have worked with in the past to say, what do you think about this? And would you be willing to help us figure this out? And then in this specific project, we were really lucky to work with a producer who held our hand a lot of the way because there were a lot of new things for us to learn
hmm
being on the other side of things. And she was very patient with explaining little things but it all seemed like we were really ready and up for the task. And I feel very confident in the space now, which is very surprising to me. But my mom has been trying to make me be a movie producer since birth. So she really believed in me, and kind of knew I had what it takes. But I think I needed the experience, as a younger person in the industry on the other side of things to know and have the confidence that I do today to take things on in this new way.
And
hmm
I've been dabbling in really like every facet of the other side of the camera for since I've been here really. I've shadowed directors like any show that I've been a lead on. I've asked to shadow. I've shadowed several directors, women, men, on different shows. I've shadowed on our show Run the World. I've I've produced like written and directed a short film that did like, the film circuit. I've I have scripts that I've written myself and just like talked to other writers that have like also been creators, and I feel like I've really been trying to figure I know that I want to be I love like all of the little bits and pieces. I never really thought about producing. I just knew that I loved telling full stories.
Mm.
And so I think when there was a scarcity of opportunity, post strike and really post pandemic, then post strike, um, it felt like the fire was there. And then it was just like experience met opportunity and then a little bit of luck, and then it was just like we got into the situation with after we pitched and sold it. And I was really excited because I was like, oh, I know what a tone meeting is. I've been to location scouts. I've done all this stuff. And it's like, so it wasn't super foreign to me. I definitely have learned an incredible amount actually executing at this level because I've never done it at this level with such big studios and this level of budget and all of that. But I definitely felt prepared. And it is funny how you don't know how things are going to pan out. It's just like you do the thing you love, and then like really, it was like luck met opportunity.
Love that. So the one of the themes that the movie highlights is rediscovering your confidence. When was a moment in your or moments in your professional career where you had to rediscover your confidence?
Oh, what a good question. Rediscover your confidence. Man, you are beat down in this business.
Absolutely.
I can really think back to a lot of challenging moments. Back in the day, we used to have pilot season, and you'd be going out on, 5 auditions a day all over town, getting told no all day long, and then you'd get so close, and you'd be testing for a project and driving across town and learning lines for the next thing, and you get told no a lot in this business. Honestly, to be very transparent, I was cast on a show and then recast by into another actress. So like there's
Wow.
a lot of times where you feel like you're not good enough.
Mm,
Um, but then you need one win and all of a sudden like your confidence comes back. But I will say the biggest moment that I can think off the top of my head of really finding my confidence in this industry was through this particular project. Finally
wow.
Aw.
learning how producing really works. And then on the other side of that, pre-production going into like being the leads of this film, I think um was a huge learning curve, but also I
Mhm.
felt like we were saying earlier, very prepared for the moment. And
Yes.
I felt really good about being in that position. And I think I gave space for all of the crew to be able to come to me with any problems and be able to problem solve with them. And that gave me a lot of confidence knowing that people feel comfortable with me and that I can help make their work experience more enjoyable. And so that's kind of the biggest thing that I look forward to and moving forward is
Mhm.
producing more to create really nice work experiences for other people.
Love that.
That answer. I yeah, I mean, I think anytime there's a shift, a great shift in how you do things, you have to really call on your confidence, right? You have to really dig deep and find it. And that can come from, a lull. Maybe you're, like with the strike and there not being a lot of work. And I said we created this opportunity for ourselves. That took a lot of confidence. And quite frankly, half the time you have to hype yourself up with like delusion. Because it's like you
A
have
Mm.
to
hundred percent.
Right,
Delulu,
right,
false
right.
you
Delulu.
know, and it's, anytime I need confidence, I just call my dad. Because if I tell him I don't believe in myself or something, he becomes this like lion. Like he becomes like a coach Carter. He's like, you know where you come from, and my family's Jamaican immigrants. Like the confidence is through the roof. So I'm very grateful to have that. But yeah, like I think anytime there's a lull or anytime there's a shift, you got to really call on confidence and just walk in faith that like, and remember too that like everybody is just figuring it out. I Obama
Mhm.
talked about this in like something that I saw online. He was like, I used to walk into these spaces and think I don't deserve to be here, and then I would get into the room and hear people talk, and I would be like, oh wait, these people are just figuring it out too. And then you need to realize that like you do deserve to be there and you're just as capable of figuring it out. But just know that
Mhm.
everybody is figuring it out. And
Mhm.
um I think sentiments like that really help me to just remember like confidence is something you have to call on, do delude yourself into believing that you believe there until you do believe that you deserve to be there kind of thing.
Mhm. And how empowering is it for the two of you not to only be able to create opportunities for yourselves in front of the scenes and behind the scenes, but for other women as well?
Oh, it's huge.
It's
Feels so
huge,
good.
so gratifying. I just like I can't wait to do it again. It's so cool, man. Like when we were on that set and just like looking around and being like, there are like over like 100 people that have like touched this, right? And like we've helped create opportunities for work for all of these people, especially shooting in Los Angeles, which is something that
Hmm.
we were also empowered to be able to do because a lot of things haven't been able to shoot in LA and we got to shoot here. And so creating jobs in LA, like that is huge. Like I can't even put a word to the feeling, but all I can say is I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, same.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. You outside of our matching burgundy tops, if there was one fashion look that you could take from the movie and apply it to your own lives, what would it be?
Oh, I know what I wore. Well, part of it was mine to begin with.
The
Remember my
joys of
thrifted jacket?
producing.
I have a thrifted jacket that I found a while back that I brought in for the movie. It's a men's blazer.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that's a good
but
one.
Anthony, our costume designer, put a like a triple XL men's button-down shirt underneath it as a dress for me with tights and little ballet flats, and it was such a
That was a
cute
good look.
little vibe. And because the shirt was so big and the cuffs covered my hands, it was just a thing. Like I felt like a little girl. And I definitely have wanted to recreate that at home, and I'm still on the hunt for the right button-down shirt.
It was very
Right.
sophisticated, actually. It was like very
It
like
sounds hot. Yes,
Yeah, it
absolutely.
felt like I was drowning in clothes like a little girl, but it also was a very sophisticated kind of buttoned up look. It was very fun.
yeah, it was a good one. I would say the one that you probably have seen if you've seen the preview that they're running. That I'm wearing like a color block, like a blue coat and a neon yellow shirt and like a checkered blue and green skirt or something. It's like a bunch of different colors. And like Amber said, our costume designer Anthony L. I think he was on Project Runway, right? Or wasn't he?
Well, maybe. Yeah. I know he was on that HGTV
He
show.
was on the HGTV
Yeah.
show, but that was for interior design. Anyways, I feel like Anthony might have been on Project Runway. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. That sounds maybe right. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He put it together and it was very fun and colorful and like not anti-Christmas, but kind of I feel like a lot of times in Christmas movies they throw you in a tartan blazer or just like just a color and they're like, okay, that's Christmas. And this just felt festive and fun in like an offbeat way. And it's an outfit that I would totally wear and take and keep.
Yeah. We hear a lot about, Christmas isn't Christmas anymore because of the commercialization, of it. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's an excuse. I mean, it's really everyone wants to buy new stuff all the time, so that's fine and it is commercialized. I mean, that is a fact, but you also can make Christmas whatever you want it to be.
Hmm.
I think there's a bit of nostalgia that I think everyone is looking for in the holidays, which you can still achieve with brand new stuff. It's really just about your own memories and your own experiences and what you're trying to create in your home. So I don't really have any personal issues with that. But personally, I look forward to pulling out all my old stuff that I've been collecting for years that has a lot of memories attached to it.
Hmm.
Um, every holiday season, I mean, there's a reason we store it all away so that we can keep it and then be reminded once a year of all the memories attached to it. So yeah, I don't really have a problem with it. That's you make Christmas what you want it to be.
You also have
Yes.
3 kids and you can do the Santa thing. I feel like
Yeah.
that is like very cute. We're actually doing my husband and I are his siblings live here and his mom's coming in, my mom's coming in. We're like splitting Christmas between the two houses and we were like, we're all grown. We don't need to get each other presents. We can all buy buy stuff for ourselves. So we're doing more like Amber, you look so disappointed.
No, no, honestly, I've been trying to do that with my family and my
Oh,
sister
really?
won't let me.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
She
you
will
know,
not let me. She wants presents like a little kid still, like from everybody.
oh, okay, okay. It was actually, I say we said that. It was really me. I was like, we're not doing presents this year. It's not necessary.
Mm.
But But we're, it's about like getting together and eating good food and cooking and like having cocktails and going to see a show. Like that's stuff that like brings you together. And that's the stuff that I have fun with. I buy myself stuff all the time. I mean, I don't really need
Right.
buy me anything. When kids are in the picture, I will probably be the worst. I'll probably buy all the gifts, but we're all adults. We don't need to buy anything or anything. It's fine.
Yes. Well, this holiday season, what activity or event are you guys most excited about coming up for this holiday season?
Our movie.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that answer, Amber.
Our
Love
movie
it.
is, no, it's true though. Like our movie is like making Christmas so fun. It's something we get to share with the whole world and like our families that we can't be with and like bring the joy
Hmm.
into their homes instead of watching something on whatever channel. They get to watch our story, which is just like the greatest thing because we're both huge Christmas fans too.
Um, what was the inspiration behind the story? A whole showdown between these two friends. Where was that inspired from?
Corbin can tell you that.
Well, like I said, this really was very serendipitous. Amber and I were working on one of her friends' apartments. She had asked me to come over to help her give him advice on how to design his apartment. And we went to lunch afterwards. And at the time, uh, I had been renting out my house to a Christmas movie was being filmed at my house. And this producer was like, I know this house. Her name's Megan. She was like, I know this house. Do you have karaoke parties here? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, Amber, she films your house whenever she's here singing. Like I've seen this room. And I was like, oh my God, I love Amber. Yeah, that's one of my best friends. And so, cut to me and Amber going to this lunch. And I'm like, Megan is filming at my house. I was like, I told her I would love to do a Christmas movie. Amber was like, I don't want to do a Christmas movie with her again. I've already done one and I love her. I'm going to text her right now. And I was like, well, what do you think about this idea? She was like, that's genius. And then, I wrote a quick pitch. We refined it together and then we pitched it to Megan over like a breakfast and it really was just kind of like, well, what do you think about like sitting at lunch being like, Amber, what do you think about just in the moment? What do you think about two best friends that are designers? Of course, we had come from helping design someone's apartment. We both love interior design. And I was like, they're feuding like bride war style over the holidays for the same job. And they end up competing. And, she was like, that is so cool. So, and then we just evolved it. It was just very like in the moment.
Right.
Um, yeah.
Yes. If you ladies could recast anyone in your movie, who would it be? I'm joking.
I was like, this is a mean question.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
joking. I just wanted to make sure you ladies were paying attention. But no, talk to me a little bit about the cast and about the process there and your scenes with your partners and all that good stuff.
This was so fun getting to look at tapes for people. That was my first time ever getting to do that as a producer, and I loved it and learned so much. The very first person that we knew we wanted to get was Loretta.
Mm,
And I had worked with her years past on the Carmichael show, and she and I had kept in touch. We were girlfriends, so I felt comfortable enough to even just text her. So or did I call her? I can't remember. But either way, I reached out to her and said, my friend and I are making this movie. It's our first time producing, but we have you in mind for this lead part, and you're kind of the only person, and we love you so much. We know we can't afford you because you're an icon, but like if you're willing to do our little movie, we would, be forever grateful. And she read the script and immediately was like, Amber, I love this part and I want to do your movie. So that
mm.
immediately gave us so much confidence because we're like, if Loretta wants to be in our movie, she must really believe in this script and like see the vision. And so then we were like off running. We were so excited by that it also made it a lot easier to like cast everyone else because, more people are like, well, Loretta's in the movie too. Like, Oba Babatunde
Right.
is like, I want to be in your
Excited
movie.
that we were producing too, come to find out. We didn't know that, but they were very excited that we were producing the movie and that it was shooting in Los Angeles. So that was a huge draw for people, was just knowing that we were going to be executive producing it, which was very, very flattering and cool.
And
Hmm.
also Sterling. So Sterling sent in a tape, I think, to play a Devon's role, but
Yeah.
He's a friend of Corbin's, and she was like, he's amazing, and we have to have him. And we all felt like he was better suited for the other role, and immediately we're like, offer to Sterling. He's so talented and so adorable, and like
Mhm.
perfect for a Christmas movie. And Devon sent in a tape, and he was just, or he had a reel that was really impressive.
Really good. I
Um,
watched Snowfall. I was like, watching him in Snowfall. I was like, oh my God,
yes.
so talented.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we just got really lucky with that people with extreme talent wanted to be a part of this movie with us. And Carla also sent in a tape. She's so cute and funny, and come to find out later, she just felt very lucky for the opportunity to work with us and has said the kindest things about Corbin and I. And
Hmm.
so we're so grateful that she was in it to play Corbin's mom, and Beverly Todd is also like an old friend of my mom's. It's all just like very meant to be
And
kind
don't
of
forget
thing.
Oba Babatunde, the prince.
Yeah. And
I mean,
Oba is incredible. He's just what a have you ever talked to him? Because he is the best.
such a
Oh,
sweet.
absolutely. Well, he and Telma played exes on Half and Half.
That's right.
Yes. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yes. So that he's just the sweetest man. He just brought so much joy to our set and gratitude. Like he was so gracious and we were very lucky to have him too.
Fox gave us a really beautiful list of talent that was willing to do this movie. I mean, like Amber said, we got to watch a bunch of tapes and reels, and I remember looking at the options and I was like, wow, all these people want to work on our movie.
Yeah,
Are they
it was a
okay?
lot of big talent.
Yes.
It
Well,
was
like
very flattering.
yes,
Yeah.
like you said, a real confidence booster. Speaking of Black, there's a lot of people are talking about now that, there's an audience for, for Black Christmas movies now. And I think that Black folks have always liked Christmas movies. What do you think the appeal is for Black people, that interest in holiday themed films?
Oh, I know the answer to that. We get so much trauma in the storytelling that we're offered to participate in. There's a lot, and it's changing. I think it's changing mainly because a lot of us are getting behind the camera, we're putting
Mm,
pen to paper, we're producing, we're starting our own studios, so that the storytelling is becoming much more diversified. But um, I think no people don't love to watch a lot of people are getting tired of watching the struggle stories, right? Or
mm,
I call it trauma porn. It's
No,
like
yeah.
you get tired of seeing that. And Christmas is about joy and it's about seeing families and it's just about the simplicity of like living out a joyful season. And of course there's a conflict in a story arc, but it's
Mhm.
all rooted in love and joy. And I mean, for us, that's great. We get who doesn't want to watch that? And we don't necessarily get that all of the time in stories that aren't centered around Christmas. So I think it's great that, not only are we being allowed into the space in such large numbers, but making space like us. We're making stories for ourselves in this space. And I'm not surprised that the Black community is excited to consume it at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, Black people like Christmas just like everybody else likes
Yeah.
Christmas, and we like to see
Hello.
ourselves on the screen too. So there's always been an audience for Black Christmas movies. We just didn't make enough of them, and so now we're just going to keep making more.
That's right. That's right. Okay, ladies, give me the lowdown, all the skinny on a Christmas showdown, the Christmas showdown.
What's it about?
Yeah, what's it about? Can we watch it?
Okay, so it's two little girls grow up together. They were very best of friends, and somewhere along the way, their friendship fell apart, and they find themselves back in their hometown at the same time, both vying for the same job, which is to take over an event planning company that coordinates all of the town's holiday events, which is Loretta Devine's character, and she's like an icon that we look up to. And so she kind of puts us in a scenario where we're auditioning to impress her with our different events that we plan, to potentially take over her company once she retires. But because we used to be best friends, we know each other's, quirks and our and our talents and stuff. And so we kind of
Shortcoming.
potentially want to, yeah, shortcomings, thank you, and potentially want to make the other one look not so good so that they can maybe look better and maybe get the job. And but it's all rooted in they have this deep love and unresolved um uh, drama with each other that they need to figure out, and ultimately
Mm,
they will find their way there.
love it.
That's exactly right.
And that's the movie.
Yes.
The whole thing.
All right. And where can we watch it? Where can we watch the movie?
On OWN. You can watch it on OWN Saturday, December 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it will be streaming on HBO Max the following day. So yeah, come check it out.
Love that. Love that. And where can everybody find you too on social media?
I'm
Oh,
at Corbin M. Reid on Instagram. Corbin M like Mary, and then Reid.
I gotta look mine up. What is mine?
And is it like Amberoni?
Yes. Oh, so it's Amberoni Stevens West. So yeah, I'm just on Instagram, but Amberoni Stevens West. Amberoni is a nickname that my manager gave me 20 years ago, and literally no one else except for him calls me that, but it
Never
is
heard it.
my handle.
It made you unique and original.
Yes, it makes it easy to find me when you look up my name on Instagram.
Right. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me on Black in the Green Room. It was fun, and hopefully it puts everyone into the Christmas spirit. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. It was
Thanks
a
for
pleasure.
having it.
Absolutely.
Be sure to follow me, Keith Underwood, at Mr. Keith L. Underwood on IG. You can also follow me on FB at Keith L. Underwood. And you know you gotta follow Black in the Green Room at Black in the Green Room across all platforms. Until next time, this has been Black in the Green Room.